Welcome back, everybody. It's day 5 on the process of moving beyond mediocrity. Today we're going to be talking about lifting the logical lid. If you're going to be really successful, you can't think like everybody else. You can't be logical like everybody else. You may have to step out in faith. So John Andrews is really going to break this down. So you're going to be blessed. Once again, pay attention. Let's stick with it. So we're going to chapter 5, which is one, that's a real challenging one I found. Lifting the logic lid.
Yeah.
And you start off, and I love it. There's days when I feel like a world beater, and there's other days when I feel like I've been beaten up by the world. That's how I feel. Then you obviously go on to say, we can never allow how we feel to drive the agenda for our lives.
Yeah.
So it's not about how I feel about a situation that should determine the outcome.
Absolutely.
So explain that. Because obviously you're saying you have bad days. Logically, I don't feel like a world beater some days. I feel like... But then there's the other days that you do. But you probably have... I don't know, here's the question. Do you have more world-beating days when you was writing this? Or more, I've been beaten up by the world? And how did you overcome that? It's obviously the logic.
I think today I have more world-beating days than being beaten up days.
Yeah.
And I think there are reasons for that. I think one of the primary reasons is I have intentionally tried to move beyond how I feel.
Yeah.
So if I go on feelings, I'll brush my teeth once a month.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
As a boy, I couldn't wait to learn to shave, and then I hate it.
Yeah.
So absolutely, as you can tell. So if I went on feelings, I'd shave once a year.
Yeah.
Do you know? So feelings are weird and wonderful things.
Yeah.
Our feelings help make us part of who we are.
Yeah.
It's one of the unique aspects of our creation. The danger with feelings is if we allow them, they'll drive us.
Yeah.
They'll control us. So I don't feel like going to work. I don't feel like kissing my wife.
Yeah.
I don't feel like taking my kids to the park.
Yeah.
I don't feel like walking the dog. Yeah. Listen, take a number, Johnny. We've all been there. That is life.
Yeah.
But then if I let those feelings dictate to me, my marriage collapses, my kids will hate me, the dog will be messing all over the house, and nothing gets done.
Yeah.
At some point we've got to actually move to a place where truth or values or beliefs drive feelings.
Yeah.
And not the other way around.
Explain that.
Well, if feelings dominate, then my beliefs submit to how I feel.
Right.
Whereas if my beliefs dominate, they boss how I feel. So I don't feel like kissing my wife, but I know this is absolutely the right thing to do. I know this is part of making a great marriage, and I know she will appreciate it and love it. Therefore, I will do it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like taking the dog for a walk, but I know this is the right thing to do. So you rationalize out. In other words, you train your mind to think to a different set of standards.
Yeah.
And literally, out of that retraining of the mind, or in the context of the chapter, refocusing your logic, you then live a different way. Yeah. Your logic determines your behaviour.
Your logic now determines your behaviour.
So what is logic? Logic is the framework of your belief.
Yeah.
It's what you believe. It's how you think. So God has a logic. Yeah. Sometimes people say God's illogical. Yeah. And that's completely wrong. It's not God's illogical. He's super logical. He's hyper logical. Yeah. His logic is above ours. He thinks differently. Yeah. So one of the keys for a Christian, for example, is trying to retrain their mind not to think like a feeling driven human being, but to think as God wants us to think. The more I learn to shape my mind according to God wants me to think, the more my life changes. Yeah. So logic is the key to our belief, to our behaviour, and to our actions, really. Yeah.
Because there's one great bit you taken from the Bible about Peter stepping out of the boat. Yeah. And logically, it makes no sense. Like, why on earth am I going to step out in the boat in the middle of a storm? I'm not doing this. No. But then obviously then you had, and I put here, the rational versus the possible. Yeah. Because he was being told, come and walk on the water. Logically, makes no sense. But there is the possibility this could happen. Yeah. There's always that, I put here when I read your book, there's always that battle going on, always. Totally. Does that ever go away?
No.
It never goes away.
Never goes away.
No encouragement.
The simple answer is that it never goes away.
Yeah.
It's a constant tension. I'm a great fan of a leader called Andy Stanley, and he put it brilliantly when dealing with some leadership issues, but the principle applies. He said some things can be reconciled, they can be sorted out, put to bed. Yeah. So you fix them and they go away.
That's it. Other
things are tensions to be managed, and this is one of them. So yesterday I could have walked on water.
Yeah.
Today I will face the same tension in another area.
Yeah.
So it may not be I have to get out of a boat and walk on water, but it could be I'm being challenged by God to do something that my human logic says that's bonkers.
Yeah. Why?
And God's saying, do it.
Do it anyway.
So there is a constant, and I think the Bible, this is one of the reasons I drew this principle out, I think the Bible's saturated with this tension.
Yeah.
So Abraham faces the facts, his body's as good as dead, yet he believes God.
Yeah. I'm still going to have a child.
Absolutely.
No, 90 years old.
Peter knows as a fisherman,
yeah,
this can't work, and yet he hears the word come.
Yeah.
So it's that constant tension, and again, if we settle it as an ongoing life tension, that regardless how well or how badly we're doing, it's going to move up and down a scale constantly, then it helps us actually deal with it. I think that it's an ongoing tension of life.
Excellent. And just on that point, so the people who do move past mediocrity are those that say, okay, logically it makes no sense, but I believe the possibility, I'm going to do it anyway.
Absolutely.
And the great ones are those who think like that on an ongoing way.